Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to chat with a man who is deeper than the ocean. Guy who's more talented than any human that has ever thrown a football in the history of throwing footballs. He's the reigning, defending, undisputed MVP of the NFL. Currently sitting at 7-1. Quarterback, John Wick, Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah!
Great shirt. What's going on, dude?
Hey, buddy. How you doing?
Hey, life is good. Fantastic. Can't thank you enough for joining us. The John Wick costume, the photos, the Pooh Shiesty moments. Hey, congrats on a successful Halloween,
Hell of a
right?
weekend.
Is that why we're looking at this?
Thank you. It was a good weekend for sure. Thursday games are tough, man, this short week, but the spoils are the 3-day weekend for sure. So we had a good time. Glad the costume all came together. I did want to give one first shout out to Preston Smith. To finish off the costume, I needed a pit bull, and I wasn't keen on going down to the animal shelter and seeing if there was one there. So I was able to find one in a teammate. So I went to Preston's house. Preston was not only my dog supplier, but also my photographer. So big shout out to Preston for helping me out with the outfit.
Yeah, it looked amazing. And that dog was awesome.
Oh, yeah.
That dog was it was a good acting dog. You know,
Lived a good life, huh?
Yeah, just like that. Oh, it lived a good life. Well, we were talking about the State Farm dog, how you threw a ball into a canyon.
Mm-hmm.
We just hope you didn't do the same for the John Wick dog. But that was an awesome moment. Shout out to Preston Smith. Sorry about that, AJ. Go ahead.
Oh, no, I'm good. I was wondering, this weekend, Nick, you have Thursday, you have short week, so it's tough to prepare, but then you have these, it's almost like a mini bye week. Other than practicing poor muzzle discipline at the Halloween party, what else were you able to do this weekend?
Well, it was a late morning. We got on the flight in Arizona, and there were some mechanical issues. So we got off the flight. This is one of the first times, maybe the first time in 17 years, we got off the plane, back on the bus, and sat on the bus for another hour plus-ish. So by the time we got back on the plane, got back to Green Bay, there was a lot of passengers for the early flights. I think I got in my bed about 6:30 on Friday morning. So it was Friday's kind of a wash at that point. But we had some fun Saturday. Sunday I did nothing, just relaxed and cleaned the house a little bit, just some couple things, and watched a little football and spent time napping on the couch. It was great.
Well, it sounds like a very similar Sunday to me, although I was not John Wick the night before. You guys got obliterated on that bus, huh? After Arizona, when you guys asked to get off the plane, onto the bus, then back on the plane. I would assume not everybody, but I would assume there was some people taking some liberties on what they could potentially drink or have at that time, or you're not allowed?
But look, I mean, as far as I know, there's no alcohol. There was a couple issues in some other sports. And in the past, I would say way long time ago, there occasionally was some alcohol on the plane, but there wasn't any on that bus. Could have used some, but we had a little bit of food and a lot of laughs. I mean, that's when the memes were going crazy. So I was sitting, like I usually do, and just all around me. Hey, look at this one. Hey, look at this one. And then Dave was, carefully crafting his. His meme to put out there. And that's basically what took up the hour and 15 minutes on the bus, was laughing at these memes.
Okay, so let's talk about the meme play in itself, and we can talk about that entire game. You guys beat the undefeated Arizona Cardinals. Without Devontae, without Lazard, without MVS. Absolutely unbelievable. I mean, incredible discipline for you guys not getting bored. It seemed like you had to play a different style. You had new guys you were throwing to, had to earn trust. I mean, it was magnificent to watch, but something happened in that game where the meme was created, and obviously you with your helmet over your face and eyes wide open after throwing a touchdown is going to steal the story. But how we got to that point, it feels like, now I might be wrong here, you might tell me something different, but watching you play, you're the OG. Everybody loves playing. It's a lot of laughing, a lot of chat, like, hey, this is how we do it. It's cool. Good to see you, Aaron. Big fan of yours. That was a blatant cheap shot. Late hit. Then he even Earl Gray'd you a little bit. I mean, there was even a little bit of that. What's that all about? Does that guy hate you? Did you talk to him afterwards? How did we get to the meme, you think?
Well, it was one of those RPOs. So we had a run pass option, and I decided to take the pass option to Kabi on the corner route. I never saw the guy. I mean, I was kind of staring down my throw as it was in the air. And even as you're getting rocked, sometimes you're still trying to see what happened. I don't wear the tightest helmet, and I wear that, real old school chin strap that I saw Farby wearing when I was a young player. Thought it was awesome, and I've been wearing it. I get a lot of crap for it from not just my teammates, from AJ over the years, from some of the training staff, but I still hold on to it. Every now and then, that thing slides up, or I've had plays where I don't even button it, just I forget about it, and it's still kind of attached to the side of my helmet there. But yeah, next thing you know, I mean, right when I got in the locker room, it was like Devontae on FaceTime, Allen was on FaceTime, and the memes are out. I mean, that was kind of the three things that just were going nuts right away. So it was so funny. And I said it in my press conference, the internet is undefeated.
Yeah.
It really is. And, it's not the crying Jordan meme, thankfully, I guess, but
We don't know. Hey, we'll see. Hey, we don't know what this thing's going to grow into, Aaron. We have no idea,
I have seen some of the funniest ones ever, and some of the ones I posted might be considered a little bit on the appropriate scale, maybe to the far end. But I saw some even less appropriate ones that were hilarious. So kudos to the people out there with the time to make those memes, because it gave myself and my teammates a lot of laughs.
It's real talent.
I think this one has legs. I think this may carry on years down the road.
I think so, too.
This will pop up in situations, but it's a good one. I think it's all positive for you. But going back to the game, heading into this game, I think we even mentioned you guys, there's not a whole lot of expectation for you guys to win. I'm sure you guys expected to win still. Like, were you able to go in and execute the game plan that you guys had going in?
I think sometimes in the situation you use it kind of to your advantage and tell the guys, hey, look, nobody expects us to win this thing. Let's just free roll it. Let's just play as loose as possible and not have any of the pressures of playing against a 7-0 team. I think that's what we did. I mean, that was kind of my message throughout the week was, look, we don't have three stud receivers. Bakhitari's not back yet. Nobody thinks we got a chance. I like our odds, and I think we played pretty loose. Now, we still made some mistakes for sure, and we obviously had a chance to put it away there in the, inside the 5. Twice we had the ball inside the 10 and didn't come away with more than a field goal. So we obviously some things to clean up, but man, I'm proud of our guys, especially after that crazy, kickoff return. Both guys go down. We had the ball on the 9-yard line, all the momentum, all the crowd back in the game at 17-14 to take it down at 91 yards and score to go back up 10 points was such a character drive. I'm really proud of the guys for the way they responded there.
Yeah, obviously the adversity going into the game, but then during the game, not just that play, but Big Bob Tunyon. I mean, great shirt. We have to get to it. But Big Bob Tunyon, I mean, that is a massive blow to be dealt, not only just in the grand scheme of the game and the season because of how good the Sycamore Big Bob has become, but in that moment, you're out Devontae, you're out MVS, you're out Lazard. Now Big Bob Tunyon's out of this whole thing. It felt like you guys never blinked. That's a foundation builder. That feels like something you can rely on in the future, but no Big Bob has to be, I mean, that is heartbreaking for everybody.
Yeah, it is. It's first and foremost for him, just because how much he loves playing, what a great teammate he is. The season he had last year, being in a contract year, there's the human element of that that's disappointing for him. But just the physical presence of him on the field and the way he plays and the way he's become a every down player and he can do it all tight end now was definitely tough. And I had a perfect view of it. I hit him on that crossing route, and I could watch him, and you just know it, being around sports for so long, when there's a non-contact injury and a guy goes down like that, more times than not, it's the anterior cruciate ligament, and unfortunately it was again here.
You sounded so smart there. There's a lot of people piecing together, the letters of the first words that you said there. ACL. Yeah. I believe that's what you just said. And we love Bob. Hey, Bob, Godspeed on the recovery.
Good luck, Bob.
Good luck, Bob. Going to miss you out there watching. Can't wait to see what he goes. Let's look into this weekend, because obviously you have a relationship with Patrick Mahomes. You, Jake, Patty hang out all the time. You guys are shooting commercials day after day, it seems like. You're golfing, you're cornholing, you're dancing, you're hosting game shows. He's working out, he's coaching, he's gymming, he's doing this stuff. I mean, do you guys have a great relationship? And also, how, whenever you see something like what he's going through right now, and I don't know if it's a confidence thing, I don't know if it's defenses are changing, if it's potentially something off the field carrying into the game, how do you continue to stay locked in whenever it seems like all hell is breaking loose around you, whenever it seems like you're potentially not playing your best and people are asking questions? If you had to talk to Patrick, if you have a relationship with, how do you say to him, hey, I hope you get better, not this weekend, but going forward? And what are some of the mental challenges you think of being like a guy like Patrick Mahomes in a league that you have been for the last 15 years?
That was a long-winded question.
Yeah, I wanted to open it up for you. I didn't want you to have to bury him, and I didn't really know, because you've never really had this happen in your career. We actually looked it up. You have never had a situation like this happen in your career, but I know you probably have a great take on everything that's happening with him, because there's a lot of potential outside shit potentially getting involved in this,
Yeah, I mean, there's been stretches where I haven't played my best ball for sure, and I think you just got to keep going back to what got you in the position you're in. And I don't think, a lot of times people say, I'm going to work harder, I'm going to go in earlier, I'm going to do this and that. If that was the remedy, then why aren't you doing it before? I think you got to stick with what got you to this point. He's been an MVP, he's won a Super Bowl, he's a talented player. And there's going to be rough stretches throughout your career. Some of the stuff is under your control and some of it isn't. And so you kind of got to release the stuff that isn't yours and own the stuff that's yours and improve. And a lot of times it's just it can be one throw. It can be one quarter that kind of gets you back playing the way you want to play. But I do have a relationship with Patrick. I have a lot of respect for him. I think he's a fantastic player. I love watching him play. I enjoy working with him too on the commercials. Kevin, Jake from State Farm, is actually a Bears fan.
Jeez.
So he's neutral this week, but I am told he will be in attendance, and I'm guessing he'll be wearing red because of State Farm, not because of his allegiances to Patrick over me, which could be the case. I actually haven't pinned him down and asked him, where his true allegiances lie. I mean, he's kind of new to the State Farm game. I've been around for a long time, so maybe, the younger guys stick together. Maybe he's more of a Pat guy. Maybe he likes those commercials, those spots he did with him better than the ones that I did with him. But him, Jake from State Farm and I, Kevin, we have a lot of fun on set. He's a hilarious guy. And unfortunately, the way it goes with this is, we do so many takes of the same commercials, and most of the ones that I think are really funny or that he thinks are really funny, even probably I'm sure the ones that Pat thinks are really funny, the client doesn't quite go with those. They usually go with this.
Oh, really? State Farm does? I never would have guessed.
What a shock.
I never would have guessed.
It's safer market to the, middle America. But I do love working with State Farm. We have so much fun, and I'm proud of the way the commercials turned out. When it comes to Pat, I'm not worried about him. I mean, I don't think anybody really should be worried about him. When you're a transcendent talent like that, it's only a matter of time.
I just want to ask a follow-up to that. Being transcended into superstardom, especially at a young age, and this has been for you for a long time, right? You have everything you have done for a long time has been scrutinized. You get more zoom-ins on your face at all times throughout games for whatever reason, and you have for so long. Do you think there is a little bit of a learning curve if you go back in time whenever that started becoming your life? Now it's for Pat. Pat's brother does a TikTok. We all know about it. We all directly associate it with Patrick Mahomes. Anything else happens out the field, we all directly associate it. He's worth $500 million now with his contract. Is there anything to that, getting thrusted into a different level of life that you potentially experienced or you've seen maybe others go through, and is that a real thing?
Yeah, 100% it is. I mean, my whole life changed, after the Super Bowl. And I've said this after the State Farm commercials. That kind of, first was the Super Bowl. And second, I won MVP in 2011 and the State Farm commercials came out. And I became not just Super Bowl champion, but now I'm the discount double check guy. And now people know me not just for playing, but they know me as that guy in the, silly commercials. And stardom is an interesting thing, and it creates a whole lot of amazing opportunities and fun things, and also some things that can be distractions. And and can pull at you a little bit more. Your time becomes less your own, I think, and it's a learning curve for sure. But the most difficult thing is sustained greatness, I think, in any sport. And there's an idea of plateauing at your peak and being able to sustain an incredibly high level of play that puts you in the upper echelon. And I believe that's Pat's destiny. He's already established an incredible level of play, and he probably will for the next 10 or 15 years, depending on how long he wants to play. But that is definitely the most difficult thing, because they are just waiting for you to show a chink in the armor, a slight fall off, so that they can bury you. And the greatest challenge and the greatest satisfaction occurs when you can continue sustained greatness and quiet down those naysayers time after time.
Excuse me. So sorry to interrupt. Hey! Did you know at the age of 30, your testosterone levels start dropping 1% per year? Wow! That means you're gonna get fatter, more tired, and lose the strength that you once had. But no worries, our friends at Roman have the perfect product for you, so you can get back to banging weights, banging humans, and living your best life. $15 off right now. Get Roman.com/USA. Back to the action. Hey!
Hey, could quarterbacks at any level, can they go through like slumps, like a baseball player might go through a slump, like a batter?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. And just like you can turn it on with one throw or one read or one quarter or one game, one little thing can actually kind of throw you off sometimes. It's like getting the yips putting or the shanks, in golfing. One, hosel rocket can change kind of your whole mental mindset. One missing a wide open throw can kind of set you back. I mean, for people that can reset quickly, it might be a play or a series or a quarter, but that takes time to learn how to be able to fall back on that muscle memory. And sometimes there are things that happen that kind of throw you off. Even for me now, I might miss a throw and it might stay with me, and influence the next time I make the throw. Now, I feel like I have enough muscle memory and mental fortitude to be able to overcome any negative thought in an instant of a moment that says, "Oh, you just missed this one wide open, a quarter ago." But it takes time to learn how to kind of harness those thoughts and continue to be confident in all moments. But again, I'm not worried about Pat at all. I mean, Pat's a different type of player. I mean, there's not many guys like him.
Yeah, he's unbelievable, and I think that is why it's such a big conversation. You two being on State Farm together, and I assume a lot more, and you two are so similar. The way you play, the throws, the arm talent, the superstardom, the trajectory, the likability. I mean, you two really are the only two people that could potentially talk to each other about some of the shit that's going on in his life. So I appreciate you giving us some info on that entire thing. Whenever you have a missed throw or a missed wide open thing, and it's, for me, kicking, punting, same situation. They say in corners, have to have this. They say, hey, you got to get rid of it quickly. I used to get mad, so then I was like, I never want to feel this way again. So that was my motivator. Like, it would make me so upset that something was happening. I'm like, I don't want to feel like this, so I'm going to continue to work. What is yours? Have you had to change that along the way here is that a constant evolution for you? Or have you gotten to a point where you've kind of figured out how to kind of manage your feelings and emotions in the middle of games?
I mean, I think I can manage my feelings and emotions pretty well in the middle of a game. But it's about this striving for perfection that I think allows you to always want to be better in those moments. And I think you have to really balance that with the realistic assessment of your play and appreciation for what you're doing and have a good confidence in your craft and what you've accomplished. I think if you strive for perfection too much, then you'll never be satisfied. And satisfaction, I think, can often be penned as more of a negative connotation because there's some sort of leveling out or resting on your laurels. But I don't believe that. I think satisfaction is having appreciation for what you accomplished and the confidence that you can go back out and do it again, time and 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 time again, which the great ones can do. And I think that's a learned trait for sure. It's to have that unwavering confidence in yourself even when things have not gone your way in a series, in a quarter, missing a wide open guy, to be able to bounce back and do the same thing over and over. And that's what the great players do. It's the repetition. It's not robots. And Pat and I like to think myself are kind of the antithesis of robotic quarterbacks. Especially him and me when I was younger, the things outside the pocket that he does. There's nothing robotic about that. And it's just reminding yourself sometimes of all the amazing plays that you made and remembering those things in the moment, not the frustrating play that is trying to stick with you.
You mentioned earlier about Favre and you using the one strap, old school chin strap. Is there anything else you took from him? I believe, don't you still use the same cadence that he had? And is that a thing that a lot of quarterbacks do? Like a lot of teams, it sticks with them?
I think teams do. I changed one of the numbers in the cadence just so it was my own. That was my justification. But I love the rhythmic cadence. I didn't understand it at all when I first got there. Every other cadence in my career, high school, junior college, Cal, the ball was snapped on the huh of hut, This one is not. It's a rhythmic cadence that's snapped on various parts of the color as the, blue or green comes out. And it's different. But I love it. I think it's been a weapon for us over the years. Now, we're not getting as many people to jump off sides because people are so worried about it. There's mics up. There's the inside interior linemen are mic'd up. So there's a lot more study that goes into the cadence each week. But it's been a weapon for us, and I'm thankful for learning that from Favre. There's other little tricks that I picked up in his footwork that he used to do that I really worked on when I was a younger player, and weight distribution and throwing, from all different arm angles. But yeah, definitely the cadence and the chin strap for sure, and no rib pads either.
Yeah, well, the rib pads are awesome. I mean, that's something you need to have. The cadence.
I don't have them. It's false. I don't have them.
Well, yeah, I know. I love the shirt, by the way. Shirt's awesome. Dwight's a stud. I mean, that is absolutely amazing. But the cadence being what it is, you might not be drawing anybody off sides, but the offensive linemen know they can't just pin their. Like you're slowing down the rush. So even if it's not getting people off sides, it's at least doing some sort of benefit. I don't know why everybody doesn't use that as a weapon, the cadence. Is it because it's not just you, it's the offensive line that also has to kind of be in it, or do people not trust it? What do you think it is?
It's false starts. Coaches get worried about false starts. I mean, I know some teams that quarterback doesn't even call his own cadence. It's the play comes in and they tell you what it's on. I've heard of offenses where certain plays to the right were on one and to the left were on two. And my response was, this is the NFL, I guess. Makes no sense to me. I think it can be a weapon. But you got to train it. You have to train it in practice. You have to train it, all the time. And drill work, so the guys hear it and hear the rhythm of it and hear the differentiation between each different snap count that we have. And we have a bunch of them. And we added a couple when Matt came. But we already had like 7 or 8. And then Matt came and brought a couple more. And what we've done with the silent count, which I think was really kudos to the line we had in 14, especially, we found ways to mix up our silent cadence because of some of the tough environments we were playing in. It's a big credit to Bakhitari and Josh Sitton and TJ Lang and Corey and Brian Balaga, who were so great at understanding the timing on those cadences, and they really helped us expand the silent count. That's
unbelievable. Did Tom actually steal your cadence? Yeah, Tom Brady?
Copied, I guess, yeah.
That son of a bitch! Wow. Come on. Anyways, I heard that at the match, which was a great show. Hope you get back into another one of those. You and DeChambeau are really perfect together. Let's talk about being perfect together. You and LaFleur seem to be like that right now. Everything seems to be great. Last week you came on and said you're loving your time as Green Bay Packer. You're enjoying the season. You guys are 7-1, atop the NFL best record in the NFL right now. The Green Bay Packers have after everything that was chit-chatted about in the offseason. Speaking of the offseason, some changes were hoped for or expected through this thing. Today's trade deadline day. Have you been asked about anything? Do you want to be asked about anything? Is this something you have thought about, mixed emotions about? How do you feel on this day, 2021 trade deadline day, just an hour and a half away from when you could potentially add a player to that incredible roster?
Well, I'm not going to get into specifics, but I will say that there has been great communication. I've enjoyed the conversations with Brian that we've had throughout the year so far, and I think that we've made some moves already that have been great. Obviously, Rasul Douglas, the hero of the game there at the end of the game, was a pickup that we brought in. Whitney Marsalis, love that addition as well. We've obviously with Bobby getting hurt and with Kylan getting hurt, our third running back, there's opportunities to add to the roster. But I like the roster the way it is, especially with some of the guys we have coming back. I mean, Darius Smith is back in town. Not sure what his potential coming off the IR is going to be, but it's good to see him again. Jair got some good news a few weeks ago. Still hopeful that he'll be around for the stretch run. Hopefully we can get Kevin King back in the coming weeks. The big giraffe at left tackle probably has a chance to play in the near future. So I like our roster. I like the fact that we're sitting there at 7-1. I pointed to the false because we have the tied for the best record in the league with not just the Arizona Cardinals but the LA Rams. I believe the three of us are 7-1. The NFC is very, very.
They just got Von Miller over there, dude. They just got they just got. They're making people are making moves out here. So I think the big question a lot of people would have for you is do you not think that maybe the Packers should make a move? But you saying that communication has been great all year, it has been better. That kind of answers, I think, all of that.
Well, I mean, look at our cap situation too. We had to adjust just about every contract to get under the cap, and there's obviously some issues with the cap moving forward. That's probably the reason why we weren't necessarily in Stephon Gilmore sweepstakes, because we couldn't take on a big contract. And there's other guys that have been rumored, and I know there's guys that want to come to Green Bay, but we are definitely salary cap hampered at the moment. If certain guys were to get cut, now that'd be a whole different story. But in the meantime, there's issues with our cap that prevents us from maybe making a splash trade for a guy who's making upwards of $8 million or more, which I think Packers fans just need to understand that.
Okay, and Delaney Walker's still out there, by the way, free agent. Might be on a boat right now. Who knows how that whole thing pans out. Ty Schmidt, go ahead.
Aaron, you just mentioned the big giraffe, and I don't know if most people assumed that Bakhitari was just going to play after he could come off the PUP list, but what's going on here? Has he been sandbagging? How does he look? Do you expect him to play on Sunday? How soon do you think he's going to be back?
He looks good. His belly is where it needs to be.
Nice.
It's grown the last few weeks for sure, so he's ready for the bull rush. He's got the bull rush belly. When we were training in the off season, he said, "If you come back, I'm going to play in week 1." That obviously hasn't come to fruition, so I haven't let him forget about that. But he hasn't let me forget about the fact that every day we drive down in a gift that he bought me. The first gift that he's ever bought me, by the way, but we drive down to practice in a gift that he bought me. So, look, we're excited for him to come back. In the meantime, I'm going to take this opportunity again to highlight the way the line is played. Elton Jenkins at left tackle going against Chandler Jones for most of the night, who's a premier pass rusher, and Billy Turner as well, because Chandler was going on both sides. But both those guys, I think, have played really, really well, and I'm proud of them. Inside, I think our guys have held up and improved. John Runyon, Royce Newman, and Lucas Patrick at center. Again, Josh Myers, our starting rookie center, has been out for a number of weeks now. Lucas has stepped in and Billy played very well for us, and I think Royce and John have been improving and playing well too. So when we come back, we're going to have a good issue to have. What do we do with the line when the big giraffe comes back with his bull rush belly? But I'm excited when that day comes.
Hey, so have you been studying up on Pole Assassin and all that is happening down in Texas?
Bro, there's a monkey biting kids on Halloween.
I haven't heard about that at all. Give me the quick synopsis.
He has. Pat, tell him.
Okay, so Pole Assassin.
He's got to act like he hasn't heard about
it.
So
yeah, I understand. All right, so
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay.
Jerry Springer GOAT, Pole Assassin, who has performed on Jerry Springer's stage and assassinated the pole alongside a monkey that is her pet and stage companion, have now started dating Coach Jeff Banks for the University of Texas. Longhorns. So Pole Assassin and the Monkey have moved into Coach Jeff Banks' house down in Austin. It's been very public. And Pole Assassin wanted to make a haunted house for the neighbor kids to come in and get their candy, not just some boring non-Pole Assassin house. So they built up a haunted area. Some 11-year-old allegedly found his way out of the haunted area, through a pool, into a back gated area where said pet monkey lives, and got his arm chomped by the monkey. This is an actual thing that happened on Halloween night. Pole Assassin has come to her defense, saying that the kid trespassed, broke, and entered into an area it should not be. This is the monkey's house. Coach Jeff Banks has been quiet. The monkey has not been heard from, and the child has not done anything yet either. So it's an ear-to-the-ground situation, but Pole Assassin and her monkey potentially causing banana problems in Austin, Texas, Aaron Rodgers.
That's amazing. Sounds like the first scene in Outbreak.
I obviously don't know what that is, but
Classic
hey,
film.
I played.
Dustin Hoffman movie, classic.
Absolute classic. Yeah, it's insanity. The real, real life is absurd, especially
You
when.
know what? You strike me, Pat, and no disrespect here, but you strike me as an individual, whether now, quietly, secretly, or in the future, could be an exotic pet owner.
Thank you. That is something that is a little bit offensive, I think, but I could see how you could potentially see
No,
that.
I'm not just saying, tigers or lions or ligers or tyons, but, you could be a,
Tyons.
boa constrictor guy or
No, yeah, that is a shot, too. I do take offense to that. I do not have it.
chimpanzee.
Oh, now
now we're talking.
listen, a chimpanzee maybe, and I wanted one as a child, but my 5th grade teacher, Mrs. Brooke, got her entire back ripped off by her pet chimp that turned on her one particular summer evening. So I'm out on the chimps, okay? Maybe one of them little Ace Ventura pet detective monkeys like Pole Assassin has, but those things will turn on you as well. I had a teammate who had one, and this little monkey tried to alpha my teammate, and even gave like a in the middle of the house, and they got into it. It hasn't spoke since. I don't want to be the one that tells that person's story, but Laurent Landry has a monkey named Gucci, and it is one of the coolest monkeys of all time. And they I guess, had to have it out. When you get a monkey, you're going to have to alpha it at some point. I think that is something you're going to have to do. Pole Assassin had done that in the past. It appears this child did not do that. And you got to withstand it. Let's talk about alphaing. An alpha move on the internet in 2021 is handing out $1 million in Bitcoin to people while dressed up like John Wick, drinking scotch from a glass with no ice cubes in it, not getting diluted at all. What a day yesterday with you, Cash App, and $1 million worth of Bitcoin given away. How long have you been a crypto guy? And great pic of your profile photo there with obviously the meme with the laser ball eyes.
Yeah, thank you. I've been interested in crypto for a while. I wish I could say I got in years and years ago when a friend of mine, I think it was circa 2012 or 13, was talking about this concept that made absolutely no sense to me. He's since become a multimillionaire. Good for him.
Congrats, Scott.
Congrats, Scott.
But I am a big fan of crypto, and I'm thankful to work with Cash App. And, I'm glad you brought it up because we gave away $1 million. Now they're throwing in another 500,000.
Whoa!
They said I could announce it on the show today, so that's $1.5 million in Bitcoin to fans, followers, and fellow and future Bitcoin enthusiasts. But it's exciting because the deregulation aspect of crypto.
Here we go.
I think is the way that the world is going to go. And it's not just crypto. NFTs are going to be really interesting as well. And I think people think of NFTs as some obscure, internet picture or something, but there's so much more to them. And the blockchain, I've just, more recently really started to understand these concepts a little more. But the blockchain network is where I think so many things are headed. So it's exciting to be teamed up with Cash App. I can't believe they had such a crazy response yesterday that my agent Ed, about 15 minutes ago, was, hey, by the way, they're throwing another 500,000. You should announce it on McAfee. I said, well, if he asked me about it, I definitely will. But But yeah, I did that, the other night too, Saturday. I was, had to do the video for him, and I was like, dude, I'm about to put on my Wick costume. He's like, do the video in the Wick costume. So I was like, okay, I will. I'm going to drink a glass of scotch too. Go for it. I think there's many scotch lovers who also are probably Bitcoin lovers too. So
I would
Power Bitcoin, excited about it. Not sure if it's related, but I do know that yesterday Bitcoin was hovering around 60, and I just checked before I got on here. It's at 63 and a half. So, who knows if we move the needle a little bit? Shout out to Cash App. And the cool thing was I saw so many mentions from people thanking me and Cash App for sending some Bitcoin their way. But the more that people can understand the concept, because it's a little confusing and maybe intimidating for some people. But I think the better off we're going to be as we start to see that show up more and more in our lives in new and interesting ways, I think.
Well, congrats, and that's awesome. Another $500,000 in Bitcoin being given away by your friend Aaron Rodgers at the Cash App. I'm not 100% sure how somebody would enter. They got to use the hashtag.
You just got to put your cash tag in the comment section below my video, and I know that they were oversubscribed. That's why they wanted to throw some more out there. I guess they never had this type of response to a giveaway.
No big deal. John fucking wicking some scotch. That thing is moving the needle. Cash App. We didn't expect to have this much Bitcoin to give away, but now that we're here, fuck it. Another 500,000. That's awesome.
I mean, big shout out. I mean, $1.5 million in Bitcoin. That's pretty wild. And if you know the history of Bitcoin and where it's gone, it can be volatile, but it's such an interesting the way that it's dissected. When I look at my stocks app on my phone, just about every day, if Bitcoin is up, there's an article about how Bitcoin is going to 100,000, Bitcoin is going to 200,000. If it has a down day, Bitcoin's going down to 20,000, Bitcoin's going to zero. So it's just so fascinating how polarizing it is. And I've talked to people on both sides, people who think it's going to 500,000 in the near future and people who think it's going to zero. I tend to believe it's going to 500,000 and beyond. But the scarcity of it and the ability for it to be a digital gold, I think, is something that is going to be very appealing now and then moving forward as it continues to rise in value.
It's at 63 something. You know, they say buy the dips. Buy the dips on the bit. But if you can get some free ones right now from your friend, old Uncle Aaron and Cash App, go ahead and dive in there. I guess your mentions are going bananas right now. We just checked it out on Zito. Just checked it out back. You get it.
Thanks, Zito.
Hey, Tom, Aaron. No, thank you, dude. Thank everybody for giving away.
Thanks, Cash App.
Yeah, thanks, Cash App.
Thanks, Cash App.
Hey, Cash App, why don't you let us send more money weekly, too, by the way, now that we have you.
Yeah.
All right, that'd be great. Thanks. That'd be great if you help us out a little bit, too. That'd be great. You know what I mean?
I don't see why not.
Me neither. It is a nightmare to have to deal with whenever you're giving away, $50,000 every other week or so, and then like, I can't give away that much, can't give away. It's like, come on, let me get rid of this stuff. You know what I mean? Let me get rid of this cash. But Cash App's just trying to protect me, trying to give away another $500,000 of Bitcoin. Shout to them, shout to you. Let's get to what everybody's been waiting for. And I was in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania last Friday at SmackDown, and there was a family. All had Aaron Rodgers Book Club shirts on. The kid was holding up a sign that said Aaron Rodgers Book Club. I looked, I was like, there's 3 generations of a family enjoying one book club. I can't even fathom the thought that I'm a part of that. It has been amazing. It has been magical. The power of now. My. What a read, dude. And now, going into week 9, it is time for the debut of the next book in the Aaron Rodgers Book Club. Drum roll, please. First, there was The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. Where Men Win Glory. Shout out to Pat Tillman and John the Giver. Be Here Now. The 4 Agreements. You Are the Universe. Sun Tzu. The Art of War. And then The Power of Now. The 9th book of the Aaron Rodgers Book Club is...
Outliers by Malcolm Gladwell.
Of course. Of course it's this one. We knew it. Malcolm's a real good book writer, man.
He's a phenomenal book writer. And this book I read when it had a white cover. So this is kind of a re-release cover, but it's, the subtitle is The Story of Success, but his research is so dense, and it's phenomenal to see the interesting associations he makes with successful people and what they do similarly. So it's a great book. I don't think it's a difficult read. I think he's a phenomenal writer, but it's not like he doesn't write like over your head. The information, the facts, the data is dense, but he's a great writer. He has a podcast as well that he's had some interesting folks on there, especially a few years ago when I was into it. But yeah, but he's also written a couple other great books. The Tipping Point and Blink are two of the ones that I've read as well from him. But Outliers is a really good book to read, and I read it I think about 5 or 6 years ago. So I had to go by Barnes and Noble because my copy I think is out in California somewhere. But
Malibu, yeah, it's in Malibu.
But big fan of the book Outliers. It's funny. I about once a week I go over to Barnes and Noble and look for some new books for the stack. And if I don't have the book that I want to recommend that week, then I'll make sure I get it. And every week somebody says something about the book club. So that's pretty cool to see so many people into it. I'll get random texts from people about it. And so that's been the fun thing to see through this whole thing is people actually reading, unlike yourself, Pat, actually reading some of these books has been pretty cool. I love this week you didn't even try. You just said, phenomenal read, The Power of Now. Didn't talk about anything in the book.
To be clear, we didn't get The Power of Now until today. That thing arrived today, so I didn't get a chance to,
Maybe I need to give you a heads up. Maybe I need to sidebar you, give you a little heads up on what's coming so you can be prepared for the week. And then it might give you, 10 days to read a book instead of a few hours.
Yeah, see, that's awesome. I appreciate that because I'd like to participate in this book club too.
Not going to change anything.
No, AJ, you don't know me. AJ, you don't know me. Look at my Barnes and Noble collection, dude. I'm a member there. I'm basically a subscriber. I got all and shout out to Barnes and Noble, by the way. A lot of them around the country are putting these books next to each other too. So people literally just walk in and go, "I'll take the ARBC collection." It's like, well, here's your 8 books right here. Go ahead and have a good one.
I think we need to get Barnes and Noble and maybe Cash App to start sponsoring segments in the shows, don't you think?
Does Barnes and Noble not care about readers' advocacy groups? Because that's what the Aaron Rodgers book. What's that all about? They're just corporate greedy fat cats.
Sounds like it.
Raking into cash. What's that all about, Aaron?
You said it, not me, man.
I don't believe that either. They're probably incredible people, as are you. Thank you so much for your incredible time. Congrats on the success on Thursday night, Halloween, and we can't wait to chat with you 1 week from now after you play the Chiefs.
Sounds good, buddy. I appreciate it. I'm going to get back to my guitar playing here.
Well, another Aaron Rodgers Tuesday has come and gone. I thought we were maybe gonna sing a song, but he hung up too quick. People say he's a nice guy.
Yeah.
Very nice guy. Great guy. He's way too nice with his time with us. We have to get to a break because he was here for 50. That's unbelievable. A fucking middle of the season, 50. Thank you, Aaron.
Thank you, Aaron.
Go win some of his Bitcoin. Go ahead and tweet hashtag thank you, Aaron, and you could, YEW, you could potentially win some merch.